Okay team, we're talking dead bugs, core activation. This is a great way to prime yourself for the squat and for the deadlift mainly. What it teaches us is how to move about the hips and not the spine as we do those big movements. The hips have the glutes and the quads attached to them, very big, very powerful movement muscles, great at providing the output of the force we need. The spine isn't good at that. The spine is good at stabilizing. It can only be stable if it doesn't move. So if your squat, it starts to look like this, spine, 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 you know it's not very strong. If you can fix your spine and move around the hips, you're going to be much safer, first of all, stronger as well. And that same thing applies to the deadlift. The way the dead bug works, you're going to lie on your back and get into this position that looks like a dead bug on its back. In this position, you'll probably be able to slide your hand under your lower back into that arch of the back. Your job is to eliminate that arch and make sure that you can't get your hand under there. You'll do that by thinking about doing a sit-up, so pulling your sternum down towards your lower, like towards your belly button, and then also trying to roll your hips back towards. Feel your lower back pull into the floor, and then come off the floor with your feet and hands like this. And again, should be no gap. Now, you're going to take your right arm and your left leg out in either direction and come back up. And then alternate side to side. As I go down with my leg, what my lower back wants to do is extend and create that arch again, which again isn't stable. That's the spine moving. Your job is to keep that ab tension so we learn how to move around the hips and not the lower back. Okay? If you're struggling to figure that out, use a band. You can take a band, anchor it to something, and then pull it below your lower back. So if I pull that here now, let me see. If I keep my tension with my abs, the band stays where it is. If I lose that tension, the band comes out. Sometimes your internal perception will be good, like you think you're doing it perfectly, but you might actually be moving through the back. And this is a really objective way of testing that. So again, get it, anchor it, pull it under the spine, go for your exercise, and if you see the band move as you do it, then you know you're losing that tension. I would go for about 10 reps, focus on moving around the hips, not the lower back, and eventually, if you want to start making it harder for yourself, you can have your knees further away to start with. If I start here, that's going to be a lot more intense than if I'm here. So play around with it. The goal isn't to do it intensely, it's to do it perfectly so that we can squat perfectly. But after you're doing it perfectly, start building on the intensity, let the knees go further and further away from the body. And then have a crack at the squats.